How to get into the property market with no money. Property investing can appear to be a complicated issue, but that's just since there are so many decisions. As an investor, you have an almost infinite number of manners in which to profit. But that entails being able to choose wisely. You have to choose the extent to which you'll learn regarding each element of property investing, whom to add to your team of experts, where to seek properties, whether or not a property is the right one for you, and so on. One decision you'll find yourself faced with is how you'll use a property once you've bought it. You might not be the type of real estate investor who wants to buy a property and hold on to it for a long time. You may not want to have to deal with property managers and renters or the maintenance of a piece of real estate. If you don't see these kinds of activities as appealing in the slightest, the other option at your disposal is flipping. Flipping a property is simply the practice of selling it immediately after you buy it, often at the same closing. At the latest, flippers generally start the selling process the day of the sale. Some even start the process prior to buying the property, which is risky business. However one chooses to approach the process, flipping always entails a mad rush to the auction block, as a vacant property is always a liability. However, when you hold the property, you have the chance to raise that property's worth. If you manage to find a great deal, the price you paid for the property will likely be a drop in the bucket compared to what you can potentially make from it, and when you finally decide to sell it, you'll be able to do so at your leisure and get a higher price than you would have by flipping. This holds true especially if the property is a multifamily residence, like an apartment high-rise. If it is the right property in the right location and you take care of it, chances are that occupancy is going to stay up. With a property like that, your profit tends to grow exponentially. If you manage your property well, this is almost assured. Speaking of management, you'll need to choose between doing that yourself and hiring a management company to do that on your behalf. If you are the owner of a particularly large property, or if you own many properties, you'll want to hire a manager. Ken McElroy, author of The ABCs of Real Estate Investing, advises that you hire a property management company so your talents and your time can be put to better use elsewhere. Ultimately, however, whether you choose to flip a property or hold it hinges mainly on what you would rather spend your time doing. Maybe you would enjoy the fast-paced work that flipping entails. Maybe this rush sounds like an adventure to you. If this is the case, you want to learn the proper way to flip properties. However, if the concept of caring for a piece of real estate appeals to you, then buying and holding a property might be right for you. Depending on your skills and talents, you personally may make more money working one way as opposed to another. It is completely up to you.